Good morning, traders. It is 6:45 a.m. Pacific time. Today is the 1st of April, 2020. Welcome to my trading journal. This is the Jigsaw day trader platform. This is just trading on order flow only. There is no charts, no indicators, nothing like that. I do reference charts throughout the day, but all the trading decisions, entries, and exits is all made on order flow. Just watching the price move. These are all futures products. This is all the way over here on the left is the Ultra Bond, symbol UB. This is the 30-year, which is symbol ZN. Right here in the middle is the 5-year, which is symbol ZF. Did I say ZN? I think that's ZB. Sorry. Still trying to caffeinate this morning. This right here is the 10-year, and that is symbol ZN. And then all the way over here on the right is the E-mini S&P, which has been open, at least cash open, for the last 15 minutes or so. Still trying to establish that opening swing range. Got bid up pretty early in the morning, and now it looks like it's starting to fall in a little bit, which is causing the 10-year, or excuse me, I keep doing it, the 30-year to push into the highs and actually make new highs. And you can see the 5-year is still way off the highs, and the ZN doesn't want to get past this little profile step that's developed here. So that's kind of what we have right now. Overnight, let me look at just sort of a slow grind higher, looks like. Yeah, pretty much since we opened. I'm actually going to throw a quick trend line on this thing just to see for shits and giggles. And wow, you can go all the way back to yesterday. Pretty much fits. Go all the way back to the day before. Basically the overnight open. You have a nice little trend line that just goes all the way up. Yeah, we've stayed above that thing several hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. It's something to keep an eye on. We're pretty far above it now. Might even put a secondary trend line on this thing, but yeah, it's been holding up pretty well. Let's look at the 30-year, because I think we can also put one on that. It's not as pretty, but it's close. Yeah, we're definitely going to push into, most likely push up into the all-time high up here, the March 9 swing high. Eventually, it's just kind of a long-term expectation. Getting back to today, though, this is all focused on in and out today. Don't hold anything overnight, ever. Just not really interested in that sort of approach. So we had, let's see, PMI manufacturing index. I'm just looking at the results. Came in basically as expected, which is a little bit lower than the prior. We had ADP employment report, just came out about 5:15 a.m. my time. And that was a lot better than expected. Consensus was negative 180,000, and it came in at negative 27,000. I don't know how reliable that number is, though. Seems to me that it's obviously a private company reporting, but it seems to me that that number jumps around quite a bit. It never really comes in as expected, from what I recall. We have ISM manufacturing index and construction spending in 11 minutes. So that's something to keep an eye on. I'll probably just hang out until that number comes out. just because I don't like being caught off guard. Fairly conservative in my approach. So areas of interest, obviously we have the swing high, which is served as resistance on this push higher previously. Got instant rejection, as you can see by the thin profile. I wouldn't be surprised if we retest this though at some point. But this profile step seems to be holding up pretty well thus far. The context, as far as what I can tell, it looks like these products are all responding to the ES, more or less. You got bonds trading together. They're both pushing the highs, like I said previously, and we still have the notes that are not quite up into their highs yet. But it's better than yesterday, at least thus far. So with all that said, I'm just going to go ahead and pause everything, finish off my coffee, maybe get some more, and I will be back after the data comes out at 7, most likely. Okay, 7:30, back here. Apparently 10-year dropped down into basically the bottom of the value range, and now it's back up to this profile step that developed previously. And I'm looking at maybe taking a short here. It's definitely held for quite some time. Ultra bond 30-year pushing down. Don't know if probably have to front run this thing to get filled. Ultra bond's definitely been leading the 30-year, so that thing's pushing lower. It's been a good indicator from what I could tell this far. Scheißen. Don't know. Should have paid up over there in the 30-year. Paid up. We'll see what happens. Hopefully we get another push down to 5.5. Especially if we start making new highs in the ES. I mean, obviously I got to let this get all the way back up to 11 for wrong. Come on, take that out. 150. Ooh, see, I don't like that, how it couldn't even get offer on there. They obviously took out the bid completely, but put it right back to bid again. Kind of level everything out and see where we are at this point. Obviously, you want to see the 5-year start coming, hitting down. Be nice if, like I said, the ES start making new highs. Only 300 on the bid. 5 years pushing. That's good. Ultra bond at 30 are starting to go. Let's go. Start pumping up. Immediately start hitting down into 7.5. And that pulls off. You've got to sustain the selling here. Shit, I don't want to just take one tick out of this. Maybe I'll just take a tick and then sell it if we get back up. Definitely don't want to let this come back up on me just because I paid up for it as much as I did. Let's do this, kind of clean everything up. There we go. Get that push going again. Be nice if the Ultra Bond starts selling down. Ultra Bond should be down here at like 3 or 2. I mean, there's really no reason for buyers to start stepping up here. Shit, look at that. Motherfucker. Shit. That's exactly what did not want to happen. Fucking Ultra Bond 30-year. I should scratch this thing. Yes, it's starting to... Motherfucker. Definitely got to be quicker. I'd expect sellers to do their thing kind of in this area, so I'm not too concerned about it just blowing higher. Just not, I'm really disappointed in myself for not managing this better. This is kind of the key level that we need to not break, so I'm going to go ahead and flatten everything out. Pay attention to what's going on over here. The 30-year and the Ultra Bond, they just continue to push higher. I might have to bail. Damn. No selling whatsoever. Yeah, there goes the 30-year. This trade's fucked. No selling at all at this level. They haven't even pushed it back a tick. Nothing. It's terrible. Finally, we get a little bit of a pushback. Damn it. Well, good news is there's still time to make that up. We'll see. Take a shot here in the 30-year and see if this thing drops back in. I have a suspicion it's going to. I don't know if it'll get all the way back down to all the way back to 9, but it might drop in a few. Come on, keep going. Keep that pressure. Don't like this stalling out here. Be really nice. ES making new highs. Put some pressure here. Come on. Haven't really seen that negative correlation working all that well the last few days, but maybe today it'll have an effect. Get a little bit of pushback there. I'll try to see if I can cover this. All right, covered that one. 4 ticks, got a little bit of that money back. I'm gonna go get some more coffee and I will be right back. Okay, 8:17 a.m. back here. I think I left off when everything was trading up into the highs. And you can see we've fallen back in past the point of control. The 10-year's down to 8, 7.5, 8. 30-year and the ultra bonds obviously fallen in quite a bit. I just restarted this thing because I just kind of wanted to do a status update of what was happening. It's obviously in the middle of the profile, so there's going to be a lot of chop. Not really looking at anything right now, unless we get down to 05 and see buyers step up pretty aggressively, or obviously back up into the highs. So you can see that's right where I covered that trade at 12. That's right where it turned around. I came back down. Super bummed about that. Should have taken it off a lot earlier, and that would have given me an opportunity to actually assess what was happening here and potentially trade this back down. But because I was in that trade and I was so concerned about it, I was just consumed with it and obviously distracted. So that's why you cut losses early. Really disappointed in what was happening there. It just kind of took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting the 30-year to move that quickly, or the 10-year. Shit, I keep getting these mixed up. Anyway, I'm gonna pause everything and just kind of keep watching and listening and observing, and we'll see what happens. Okay, we're back. It's 8:34 a.m. Pacific time. The 10-year is down here at this this previous level. It's basically the lower end of the value area. That's kind of was identified as an area of interest previously. I hesitate because of the way that this thing has just systematically sold down like brute force Sellers just overwhelming buyers all the way down. So I think I'd like to see several ticks push up and then a fall back in before I could actually buy this thing. So we'll see if that happens. I kind of clean everything up just to, you know, I'm actually going to clean up this stuff too. Oh, I couldn't get, I guess we could get all of that. I don't know. Anyway. I'd like to see a big time step up. Not just a tick, but several ticks, 3 or 4. Have it drop back in, and then we can buy it. If that even happens. But like I said, sellers is just overwhelming buyers all the way down. The ES just completely dropped in about, let's see, what is that? That'd be about 20 points. No, about 15. 15 handles that just completely dropped in. No buying at all here. None of these products. They just sat there. And then as soon as you got a little bit of a bounce, they sold down 4 or 5 ticks. So from a context standpoint, that's a big time indicator of which side they're on. So as opposed to just letting the video run, I'll pause it. I guess I can let it run and just fast forward. So anyway, that's what I'm looking at right now. Haven't seen any buying at all. So it could just be continued grind lower. It's one of the things I love about treasuries, to be honest, is that you do get those scenarios where it just grinds and you could see it. And if you just jump in, I've been distracted all morning, but if I would have saw that, I would have definitely jumped in somewhere along here and, you know, just kind of hold on tight. And just let it grind lower and lower. So the ES is just completely taking a shit. 10, 12 handles, and you've seen 0 reaction over here. Normally you'd see a lot of bidding up right now. Well, maybe now it's starting to bid up a little bit. We're getting a bit of kind of a delayed reaction. So I'll go ahead and pause it. If this thing drops back in, I can restart it. So we're back here. It's 9:03 a.m. We got that drop in I was looking for, and it kind of spooked me. To be honest, I was a little distracted, but I felt like it was definitely going to go lower at that point, and then it just kind of shot right back up. So I missed it. I'm not sure if I want to pay up here. Really all depends on I don't know. We'll buy it. We'll see what happens. This might be one of those things that just kind of grinds higher still. Or it could have just got suckered. I think we're going to need to see continuing weakness in the ES just to have any sort of hope of getting back up into 10, half 11. Immediately the Ultra Bond 30 years starts selling off. So I don't know if I'm necessarily wrong on this, but I might be just a little bit early. I don't know. Yeah, normally I'm really, really selective on my trades, and I think it's just because I don't have the focus I normally have today that it's eluding me. Paying up when I normally wouldn't pay up. I'm seeing momentum when it's not normally there. when it's not there. Normally I don't really trade inside the profile a lot, but I guess the excuse I'm using is that there's just a lot of action lately. So you can catch like when a 3-tick burst, you can kind of jump in and it'll continue to go. Treasuries are normally pretty slow, but that's been happening a lot lately. So I've just been sort of counting on that, and it seems like it's starting to slow down or stop. Like that setup is no longer here. People always say the markets change, and they definitely change. So it might be part of that ever-evolving aspect. I really like how they've gone 700 down, and this bid kind of really hasn't weakened at all. That said, it doesn't mean they can't just wipe that thing out. Definitely need the ES to fall back in, make new lows. I think that would help. Oof, look at that big old order right there. So this isn't cool. We got about 3,000 that's printed up there, and sellers are just soaking all that up. Now you got 1,000 on the offer. Look at, they're putting up a bit of a firewall there in the ES, right at 75. There's another big print. Look at that shelf. Rarely see that in the ES. It's not good. That said, if they do pop that level, could be pretty, there you go, could be pretty fun as it heads down. Still no reaction here. 5 years bidding up a little bit, but hasn't really been the leader today. All right, if we can't get a pop here with the ES getting down into the lows, especially if it makes new lows, then I fucking give up. Might be close to quitting time here. Because this markets are just not moving anymore. Although that is a characteristic of treasuries and bonds, that they just kind of sit for a while and then they just explode one direction or another. God, look at this 5-year surging higher, ultra bond basically falling in, 30-year flat. Just fucking schizophrenic market. Fuck it, man. Done with that one. 9:15, probably done for the day, which sucks because I take a little bit of a small loss. Better than a big loss. So yeah, I'll just pause it, but if something comes up, I will restart it. But otherwise, happy trading.